Now, President Bola Tinubu has now departed Abuja on a working visit to Paris. According to a statement by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the president aims to assess his administration's mid-term performance and key milestones during his time in France. The working visit will also serve as an opportunity for President Tinubu to review the progress of ongoing reforms, engage in strategic planning, and deepen ongoing reforms ahead of his administration's second anniversary. Now, notably, the president's commitment to economic reforms has yielded significant results, with the Central Bank of Nigeria reporting a substantial increase in net foreign exchange reserves to $23.11 billion. While the president is scheduled to return to Nigeria in a fortnight, he has now traveled to France a record 6 times since being declared president. Now, Ogra is Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on New Media. He joins me now to speak on the president's trip to France and his reshuffle of the NNPCL. Ortega, thank you very much for joining us. Let's welcome you in.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Grand. Good to have you here tonight. Now, brief overview of President Tinubu's working visit to France. What trade and investment opportunities will be explored here?
So I think first things first is to recognize why the president is going on this trip. Like Bayo Onanuga said in a statement that I put out today, the president is going on a working visit to reevaluate and review midterm progress and, refresh and see how we can improve upon what we've done before. We'll look at key milestones. We're going to look at, what the ministers, what his government has done, and, plan strategically for the second half of this term. And I think it underscores Mr. President's drive, to always put Nigeria first.
So, Ortega, it's not the first time he's traveled to France, a record 6 times now. What outcomes can we expect from Tinubu's working visits to France this time?
As you're very much aware, the president's last visit to France, which you referred to in your opening, was for a state visit upon the invitation of the French president, President Macron. This time around, Mr. President is going on a working retreat, personal retreats. It would have some meetings, which the state also would brief the press upon when those meetings are going on. But beyond that, it's more important that we recognize there's having this trip so that you can think and look at how well we're fed and plan for the future.
Now, Ortega, I'm really curious as to who exactly the president would be seeing, which officials he'd be meeting in France. And what areas of focus he'd be discussing during his meetings with the French officials. If you can give us those details, please.
Again, I'll refer you to the press release and your opening, where we said the president is going for a retreat, a personal retreat, a working visit, where he'll be doing more of reflecting on his work and, planning for the second half of his term.
Is there a special focus?
Any of the information that is missing would be informed to the press as a twin deal.
Okay. I was going to ask if there was any specific focus on France, because people are very curious why this is always a destination for the president. And if this has to do with the economy, then, well, they need to know exactly why and which officials he would be seeing there.
I guess I would have to ask the president that. But again, this is a working visit, a personal working visit, where he'll be reviewing his administration's work so far in the first half of his tenure, and then we'll see how everything goes on from there.
Okay, then I'm going to move to details regarding the reshuffling of the NNPCL board. Is there a rationale behind this reshuffle?
Sorry, come again, please.
I'm asking for the rationale behind the reshuffle of the NNPCL.
Yeah, so this